God, son, what the hell are you doing?
364 more days till next year's hockey tryouts. I gotta toughen up.
Only there you shall find the method.
Yeah, well, you're the one. And
Who's the one and only method?
I never told you this actually. I went to I forget where I was going, either to the combine or wherever it was, right? And they, obviously I got a book bag on, and they're like, oh, we gotta check the book bag, and I have all this stuff, right? All the wires and stuff. So in the X-rays, they just see wires in a box, right? So they stopped me and they were like, oh, we gotta check it, and they're like, there's something else in here. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, there's something else in here. Like, you got batteries. I see that. The box, what's in the box? I said, well, the box, you can check. It's all the recording equipment. And that's why you have the wires. The wires to plug into the recording equipment. He's like, it shows like there's something else in here. Dude, it was the sage that you gave me. I put all the way on the side, and they still let me on the plane. They never found it. They never found it. Like,
crazy.
It was already halfway burnt and everything, and I was like, well, I'm going to put it back right in that same spot. That way,
I was surprised. Great part, I forgot to give you a sage to go.
Yeah, man. You blessed me, man. You definitely gave me some good vibes on the way.
Nah, that's what's up, man. But yeah, so what's going on? We are the three-peat.
The three-peat, man. This first one was great. The expectations of the first one were blown out of the water. The second one, how'd you feel about the second one? And we'll move right into the third.
The second one was good. I think the second one was smooth. You were there. I mean, you got to experience it. Mm-hmm. So definitely was a good look. I would say low key was kind of like a reunion in a sense, because I've seen a lot of people I haven't seen in damn near 10 plus years. Like, I got to see Julian, so, that was great. But like I said, I think probably definitely had to be about 10 years since I've seen him. And just, just seeing people in general, like, Brian came through, Brian Norquist and his two beautiful daughters. So, it was dope, man. The vibe was good, as always. It was special for sure. The twins, I'm sure they enjoyed themselves, and then just meeting people, just walking by casually on Main Street, coming in, pulling up. So yeah, man. I mean, I guess I would have to ask you, put you on the spot. Like, what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I loved it. It wasn't overbearing, right? Like, so it was like you had this small spot, but it wasn't small. It was like perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't too big, it wasn't too small. It fit everything that needed to fit in there. And it was like casual, in and out, the people that we haven't seen in, a decade or so. And the night was just chill. The weather was great, right? Everybody was just kind of hanging out. There was great food. There was good vibes. There was, just kind of understanding the different artists, the lanes that they were in when they made these things, and stuff like that. Even flu season, showing us a bunch of stuff too. And I don't know, man. Like, I can't get enough of it, to be honest, because I don't think that there's enough here. You know what I mean? I don't think it happens a lot. So I was really happy that it was actually not just something new, as in like, oh, okay, there's this new person. No, it's somebody that I know. It's somebody that I've known since middle school. It's somebody, and some people I've known since elementary school. And it's like, these people are still here. This is great. And that's kind of like foundation of community right there, Yeah,
that's a fact. It was definitely, your beacon definitely showed out, man. That was dope, man. I never can get enough of coming home because I still consider it home. And just getting the support, the genuine support of my peers, you know, and even with people just that don't know, they're not aware of what I do, but just having the opportunity of people, sliding through, just casually walking on Main Street, seeing that there was a crowd, because I definitely was conscious of the fact that there was a crowd around the barbershop. So people just kind of just being curious, just being curious of what's going on inside and just coming to check it out. And, most of the people, they rocked with it. I would say all the people that rocked with it. I got to meet a bunch of people, that were from the area that, just happened to be in Beacon for this, whether it be for the weekend, a couple of new residents that's been there for about a year or so. So you just kind of getting to learn the new people of Beacon, because obviously, us growing there is different from where we grew it to be. It's different from when we grew up. So just just meeting the new people that's been there for about a year or so. It was beautiful, man. It was a lot of positive energy.
Yeah, I think not for nothing. It's shout outs to the Twins, man, because they run a. I know how some people usually say everybody runs a tight ship. They run a smooth ship. I'll say that. They run a nice, smooth ship. Like, they give back to the community. They look out for everybody around them. They treat their, and I said this before and I'll say it again, they treat their customers like kings and queens. And, yeah, and you know what? They just went to the Barber Expo over in Connecticut. And I forget the gentleman's name. They're the third barber that's in there.
Yep, I know he's talking about. Yep. Yep, he won a competition. I think it was like the crop top. And I might be butchering the award he wore, but he basically got an award for a style of haircut that he was doing.
Well, he was cream of the crop, so there you go.
Not doing his thing. You got his flowers, man. That's dope, man. Chime in what you said, like, one thing about the Twins that I would never have anything bad to say about them at all. Mm-hmm. Very, very humbling, blessed group of men. I've seen them, from when they were kids. I won't say when they were damn near kids. When they were kids, there's a humble beginnings of them cutting from their parents' basement to where they're at now. As far as their interactions, everything's always been the same throughout the years. Just very positive, very supportive. I'm proud of them for everything they accomplished and everything, all the stuff they're going to accomplish in the future. Because, I feel like they're definitely going to expand and do more things. They definitely has opened up my eyes in the world of barbering, as far as it's more than what you see in the scope of individual sense. Like, it's like a legit business. It's a culture. And, just with them going to the competitions and stuff, and, like, they're definitely they're definitely gonna be doing big things. And like I said, I wish them nothing but the best, but those are my guys though, man. Those are my bros. I don't like I said, I have nothing but, good things to say about them. They're more supportive, and they provide an outlet that's not there for locals such as myself. Like I said, one thing I'm always gonna be grateful for is like just them giving me an opportunity to display the art using their space. Because Main Street, that's like prime time real estate. Like, you gotta, I imagine it's gonna be damn near impossible or very hard to walk in to the establishments and just say, hey, introducing yourself and asking them would they be fine with them, with somebody such as myself using their space to display my art. And and that's just the entry level of the conversation. That's not even involving money. So just to even get to the point of, hey, can I use your space? And how much can I charge? How much can I pay to use your space? Like, like I said, one thing with the Twins, I'm always gonna be very grateful for all that they do, and then that they did for me. And there's other people too. Like, I know that they did one for Flu. I can't remember his name. I know he did something, for Abe's girlfriend. I know she done something at the shop, so I was able to attend that. But yeah, man, like I said, they're really good people, man. I definitely want to say that they're great people.
Yeah, they take their art to a different level too. Like they take it serious, but they have fun. You know what I mean? Like they know how to have fun, and and shout outs to them because with this whole thing of like the turnover from going from Bliss and That Show to Iconical. I just gave away the rest of my gear for the Bliss and That Show, and they let me use their platform right on Main Street to do it. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, man. Like I think some of the best things that you can do for yourself is recognize your own flaws, right? So I showed up. And I was like, that's right, I gotta go get my nephew, I gotta do X, I gotta do Y, I gotta do Z. Like, my head was spinning. I forgot to bring a table. I was like, oh yeah, like, I was not prepared. Like, I was, but I wasn't, right? I had all the ideas. I was like, all right, check. And then the simple things, I was just like, oh, man. But they had me covered. They had a table. They're like, oh, no, we got you, man. We're going to do this. We're going to set up set you up a table. We got you a tablecloth. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. We took some of the business cards, gave them out with every shirt. It was weird, though, because people don't... When you give them something free now, it's like, where's the catch-22?
Yeah. What you do to this?
Yeah. So it was...
What is this company?
Yeah. Why am I taking this for free?
Yeah, what is this? What do you stand for? I get it, man. I get it.
So, I mean, shout outs to him for helping me out on that day. And then I had to... Hey, man, I had to... give myself a little R&R. I did the whole face cleansing over there at the Twins barbershop, man. They took care of my big bald head and exfoliated a little bit.
Oh, you got the self-care package.
Oh yeah, man.
That's what I call it.
The self-care package.
the self-care package.
The SCP.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, man. No, that's definitely. I'm looking forward to Friday, man. I gotta get cleaned up, man. Kind of in dungeon mode right now with creating all these pieces for the next showcase. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to hitting the local spa, as I call it. Get my haircut and all that.
The local spa.
And all that. Yeah, no.
So actually, the last showcase that you had, since it was over there at the shop, I went over to what record? It was a record shop around the corner, and they already moved it. They came from Wappingers.
Are you talking about the record, the vinyl store that's right next to right across the street from the old Chinese restaurant?
No. The where the pizza shop used to be. Flowers and the pizza shop, is it like right down the street from across from the Mobile?
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you go down there. They put the record shop.
Oh, the vinyl. That was
vinyl
a record
room.
spot. That was that's like a little bar. That's not a record store.
Okay, I always went in there. I didn't know it was just a bar.
No, that's a bar. I think they got vinyls there, but like it's like more so like a bar / restaurant. I'll call it a lounge. Actually, we went there. You was there. We went there. Remember, we went there after the last showcase.
Yeah, Mikey D was there.
Okay.
He was dude. My man was rocking and me and green. He was rocking some Kelly green with white, gray, and black. And you know me, I always got some sort of green on there, so I gave him some iconical Kelly green and white. So I had to hook him up. He still rocks it out to this day, man. He's cool. He's a cool dude.
Smooth, man.
Yeah, dude. So I was happy, but yeah, it was a cool night to hang out and just have a good time, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, man. Like again, it might have been a reunion, but everybody showed up, man, and it was faces that you never get tired of seeing, really. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man. Yeah, man. So but like I said, I took kind of like every art event, you could take something away from it. So I definitely, for sure, like I said, I was blessed to meet new people and like rub shoulders with, like I said, just rub shoulders with people that I don't see on an everyday basis. So, I mean, took a year off. Now, I'm back, man. Like I said, I don't want to call it. I guess we can call it a three-peat. I guess we can speak. Putting up a good energy out there in the universe. But yeah, man, I'm thinking that this should be a good one. It would be a great one, not a good one, but I think this should be a great one as well, man. I think this one is very special. Let's say the other ones weren't special, but a lot of thought and a lot of thought went into this one, and I've been kind of manifesting this for a while, for sure.
So if we could put something together, maybe either into words, maybe a word, a bunch of words. If we're going to take from the end of the second one and the transition into this welcoming of the new one, what's a phrase or maybe a theme that you have in mind that kind of themes it out for you?
That would transition from the last event to this event.
Mm-hmm.
I would say reflection.
Okay. Seems like you gave that one a little thought.
Yeah, reflection. That's the best way to describe that. Describe what led me to where we're at on Saturday.
What's different about this one than the last one?
I would say the last one was just more so. I would say last one. I would say I was selfish in the sense of the pieces I picked out. It was more so kind of like, like, hey, I think this is cool. Like, whether it had been like a portrait or a person or subject matter, just more so thinking like, hey, I think this is cool. And, I think other people will love it. But even if you don't love it, it'll be, hey, I can, this would be something great to have within my home, or, eventually somebody will want. But yeah, that was like my main thing, just more so of just personal inspirations that I've seen throughout that year. Is like, I gotta get this on a canvas. I gotta put this on a canvas and display it to the world. So that was like my approach to the last event. This one I would say is probably the most selfless I've been as far as creating pieces, in a sense.
Why selfless? What makes it selfless?
Because I didn't curate these pieces. Like, I mean, I created the art, but all the pieces and all the the women and just the subjects that I picked as far as painting, that was all picked out by women. Like, there's women that I've been in contact with, people that I respect, people that I have relationships, whether it be new relationships within the last couple of years or just somebody that I've knew basically damn near my whole life. It's like, I took what they wanted and what they're inspired by, and I just created, basically. Like I said, not to assume that everybody would know that we're talking about, but this what I did was I reached out. For a while, I've been kind of, like I said, when I say reflective, I've just been reflective on just how life has how my life has changed throughout the 37 years on this earth, and just things I've been through, things I accomplished, hurdles I had to go through, and then it always goes back to my upbringing, and just me coming from a single parent home. Like I said, just like my affinity for women is just, I can't put in words. Like, I will always appreciate, I mean, it goes without being said that, I think most men are appreciative of women, much as we, sometimes, we're programmed, or we can be, the narrative could be that we don't express how we feel about women. Some, I would say that's just based on the optics of just how the media or just general narratives, but I just feel like that we men are sometimes, or that we don't look at, we don't give our appreciation to women, and like, I come from a very strong woman, and I just thought about, just how much I've been through and how much, my mother has been through, raising me and my two siblings, at a very young age. My mother, she was 16 when she had me.
Mm.
And, me being a parent, like I'm 37, my daughter is 9, and I had her when I was, I had her as an adult. And it's tough. Like being a parent alone, it's not, I won't say it's tough, but it's not easy. And, and I just always, whenever in my journey of fatherhood, I always think about my mother and the things she's been, she went through as somebody being 16, a kid herself, raising me. And like I said, that alone, as I get old, the more and more I grew, it just makes me think about the strength and just the greatness of just women in general. And I just like always I feel like there's never a way I can pay back my mother for all that she's done. But like I just me being an artist is like I wanted to do something that gave recognition and just gave the flowers to the women. Like, and I didn't, like I said, I've been thinking about this for well over 2 years. I would say definitely 2 years, more than 2 years, and I just didn't know how I was gonna go about it. But I was just like, yo, like I'm surprised that I've never seen, and I'm pretty sure there has been, but I've personally never seen any kind of like art event that was just based around women empowerment. And so what I did was I just like randomly it came to me. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna reach out to like like 20 women, that I respect and that I have good rapport with, and just get their opinions. Like like name. I want you to like I asked everybody to name 3 influential women to them. Like there were no criteria. Just like hey, this when you get a chance. So that's actually all the women will contest it. I said hey, when you get a chance, let me know, or just name 3 influential women to you. And within the time they got back to me, I would say most of the women name, for the most part, name the same women, but there's also that was like different ones that kind of stood out, and every person that participated and gave me their input, they all named very valid and great women of their own right, and so what I did was I just compiled that list and got it to a group of women. I just basically just created pieces of those individuals that the women picked out. And what I did was from the women that was picked out, I reached out to the ladies, so I selected a group of ladies, and I just asked them, okay, now that you picked this person, I would like you to pick a portrait that speaks to you, and kind of like that picture defines who they are. Like when you see that person, what do you like? When you think of this person, this is the picture that you see. And they reached that they sent me the pictures, and I just recreated it. So, in a sense, this whole art show is curated by women. It's not like I present the work, and I do the actual artwork, but like this is basically for them by them. It's not about me, and then I'm a product of a woman. So even if you look at it like that, I'm just doing Teresa Wright's work. Like I mean, like I said, like I come from her, and like I said, I'm just a product of her. So at the end of the day, it's truly for them and by them. That was like I said, that was my thought process. So kind of like I said, the main thing was just me having thoughts of an appreciation of all that my mother's done, and it that kind of like planted the seed of me trying to go about doing this event.
It's almost like it's the same type of thing that's been happening through life anyway, right? Like you're just actually putting it into an artistic work now. So like the women were behind it in the beginning when they were raising you. And
that's right.
And you are exactly what they taught you how to be, the kind of man you are today. And they're actually, now you're asking them, hey, like, they're curating it, like you said, but they were curating it back then so you understood who you were as a man. And now they're doing the same thing, and you actually get to put that on a canvas.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm a reflector, and I said everybody has flaws. I'm not, like I said, every person has flaws, but I'm a reflection of my mother, and I would say her friends. Like I said, she was 16 when she had me, and it really was truly a community and a collective of her friends, her close friends, which you consider sisters, which I consider my aunts, that that helped raise me to the person I am. Like my respect for women has always been there. You know, um, just the way I've seen how men has treated them and how they interact and how they examples of how they should be treated. And in some cases, some ways they shouldn't be treated. And I take all that in consideration of how I interact with women to this date. How I treat my daughter, and like I said, I'm just a product of them. Like without them, I'm lost in this world.
I gotta say, man, the way you treat your daughter is priceless. I will say that you make sure that your daughter knows her worth, like 100%, and it shows. Like you're a father and a daddy. You know what I mean? Like you fill both roles easily, and it's definitely like when everybody, you know, the way she talks to other people is like obviously is like the way you speak to everybody. You know what I mean? Lots of respect, lots of everything. You've definitely put in your work. I know that you say that it's not easy, right? But for something not being so easy, I gotta say, man, you're doing a hell of a job at it. So
I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like I said it's my job, you know, it's my job to be that male figure, to show her, like I said, show her how women should be treated, and so when she goes on, despite of however she goes on with life, when she chooses her partner, that she knows how to be treated, and like I said, just knowing her self worth. Everything's a cycle. Yeah, I'm a firm believer everything is a cycle, and it's up to us to break those cycles. It's up for us to create those realities of what they to expect in the future. Like if she sees that her father was nothing but disrespectful or just had a certain way with women,
right.
She's gonna think that's a way of life, and that's a no go. So my main thing is just make sure that I do my part. Like I said, I'm never going to come across as I'm a perfect individual. Like I said, I feel like I'm pretty solid and everything. But like my daughter is going to see me for who I am. Like you know, supportive, caring. But in the sense of there's going to be days that I'm going to be flawed. But
Right.
but who isn't? Who isn't? So my thing is that that my main, kind of like you said, the main initiative is making sure that my daughter knows her worth and knowing how she should be treated.
So I wanna backtrack for a second because even though not directly, I have a feeling that this has a big part to do with how you're setting this up and the way you're approaching this one. What was one of the hardest things that you watched your mother go through raising you?
Hardest thing, just figuring out life. And, we don't talk about it often, but because kind of it goes without being said. And she's I think sometimes she somewhat reflects on it sometimes, but she doesn't do it often. But I mean, just seeing her just go through figuring out life. She's once I realized that our situation, I'm probably at the age of like probably preschool, so probably like I don't know, like I said, like 6, 7, whatever the case may be. And I'm just like kind of understanding what my position, what my situation is, just kind of contrasting my life compared to, my friends or, close family members, having two parent households and stuff. And, their parents kind of get like my mother, she just like, she was figuring it out. Like, just far as she didn't get her diploma. So she just trying to figure out going to getting her GED, find a job, a stable job, and just providing for me and my brother and sister. And I could just see that. I know it was like the challenges I definitely would say just kind of figure out the balance of life as far as her still coming of herself, being a young adult, having responsibilities, providing for her family, and still trying to live life, live her life. And like I said, not to say that, she'll tell you herself, like, she wasn't perfect. She didn't always make the best decisions and everything. But, but one thing is that she always made sure that she took care of home, no matter it was hard, no matter how hard it was. Like one thing that my siblings always say, and I would say it to myself, I would also say it as well, like, if it was hard, we didn't know it. Like, we didn't feel it. And my mother did a phenomenal job with doing that. There was like, maybe we may not have like the top of the line of everybody else, but we were appreciative of everything we got, and we didn't go without. And so, but like I said, with her struggles, it definitely was triumphs. But yeah, I would say one thing that I could, like you said, as far as challenges, the biggest thing I could say is for her just balancing life, just watching her try to balance life of being a parent, being a young parent, and still coming to herself, coming of her own, as far as just growing up.
It's crazy because like even when you say something like, "Hey, preschool," I'm aware of the situation, right? Like you're aware of what's happening, and with that, it's almost like your mom. Women make a home. You know what I mean? Like you can have a house, but they make a home, and it's hard to maintain that too, right? Like I've seen my mother made, my dad bought a house. My mother made the home, right? She made it a home to come home to, and it's one of those things where you look at it and she's maintaining, right? The mothers and women, they maintain a home. And it's like, it's just not the same. You could see any dude that's single has a house. Very few have a home.
Yeah, that's going full talk right there, though, man. Like, that's a whole fact, man. Because blessings to my wife. Like I said, she runs our household. She runs it. Like I said, I'm here. I do the grunt work. But as far as like this, the sanity and structure, listen, that all goes to my wife. And I mean, and then, like I said, much of the many hats that she wears, kind of like I said, you take her away. She always jokes about it too. She gets a kick out of it. It's like, what would you do without me? But but like one thing I would say, man, with her not being here, man, it'll definitely be a different dynamic. Like I said, she definitely makes our house a home for sure.
And is it just me, or it's just like, it's not even like, obviously they do a lot of work, like some of the really, really big things, right? But then a lot of the small things, right? Like a lot of small things is what makes that house a home. Like when you come home and it's just like, you don't, like some of the stuff, let's be real, we don't even realize, like we don't recognize it at first. You know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden, just like a little bit after a little bit after a little bit, you're like, oh. Like, even if you were to ask, how long has that been there? It's been there for, 9 months, okay? Like...
Yeah, listen. Just a small thing, like a planner. Like, my wife has a calendar in our kitchen. And, of all important dates. And, but she's very organized anyway. But she has, a calendar of events in her kitchen. And... as much as that I've took it for granted, it's like, like if I didn't have that, I would be lost. Like I say, and then especially if I was single, I damn sure I wouldn't have no kind of. I just live life like, okay, I'll try my best to remember things.
Right, dude, I got it right on the wall, bro.
Text. I'll go back to text messages and I'll like I said, my friends will laugh at me. Like there's days I get mixed up. I'm not the greatest on birthdays, but like I said, my wife knows me, so she. I mean, for her benefits too, she puts up like a calendar, and I say it's just that's those small things. It's just like this kind of just solidifies that that hey that they run shit in the household for sure.
Yeah. So the art show is this Saturday, May 27th, right?
Yep.
What's the work ethic coming into this one?
The work ethic, it's been, I would say it's been steady. These last few days have been pretty hectic. It's kind of like we're at the wire, so so it's been kind of hectic as far as just make sure every piece is right. Everything is complete and everything. But as far as leading to it, I feel like that I planned it out accordingly because my last event, I didn't have. I think I might have told you before, but I was working like straight through to the event, so like I didn't have an opportunity to really prepare. Like I was like kind of just scrambling, juggling everything. And this time is a little more breathing room. This time, it's still intense, but it's not as intense as the last event. I was able to structure it out, kind of take my time and really kind of plan out as far as the schedule, the pieces being completed. But it's still a lot of work. Definitely as far as like just promoting it. This is the first time I actually put out flyers for it. Physical flyers. Just kind of just spreading the word through social media, and it's been a lot of work and definitely. I was blessed to have some supporters that help, repost and, put the word out there. So that's actually been helpful for me. So thank you for good people such as yourself, putting it out there and, informing people about the art show. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a grind, but it's, I would say it's a manageable grind though. I would say best way to put it.
Is there any type of like, is there any type of sense, I don't want to say urgency, but to make sure everything is even better than normal, like almost better than perfect because it's for the women in your life that have pretty much meant something to you?
I mean, I definitely, I mean, that goes without saying. I got to definitely put my best foot forward because it's something that it means a lot to me, and I'm sure that as my mother would hear this, if she wasn't listening to this, she'll know how important it is. Yeah, I will feel like she'll find it just as important as I find it important. But I mean, it goes without saying that I definitely want everybody to know that this is my best work that I put in my most recent years. I feel like as far as my the craft and the skill, I feel like I've been getting better as far as in my journey through art. And so I think like the quality wise, I feel like it's going to be there. I'm pretty confident in that. It's one thing if I'm not confident in anything, I'm confident in what I put out. As far as the expectations, did everything going smooth? I try not to have too. I guess I don't know if it's an actual term, but I try not to have too much artistic anxiety, in a sense.
Fair.
Because if I'm worried about if this many people show up, or is this gonna go this way, this gonna go this way, like I'm gonna do is I'm going down a rabbit hole, and then it's just kind of going to stagger me more than anything. So, I'm learning to just kind of take a step back and just let the universe, respond to everything. Just let things flow. Like I said, I'm gonna put the work out. I'm going to promote it. I'm going to inform people to my best abilities, and the results will be the results. Win, lose, draw. Like I said, I think there's a silver lining in everything. So, however the results come, or however the event turns out, or generally speaking, I'm going to take it for what it is.
So, like, throughout the past year, I know we always stay in touch, if I can get on the phone with you for a little bit, we chit-chat and stuff. What is What is one thing that I remember you were saying that you were trying to do certain things a little bit better and learning, you know a lot, obviously you know what you're doing, right? But you had told me that you were focusing in on trying to do X a little bit better or something a little bit better here and there. What is something throughout the past year that you feel like you've got a little bit more of a grip on artistically, or learned a little bit more that that kind of pleases you in that sense?
I would say I've been dibbling dabbling with where I would say more so natural skin tones. Um, I feel like with grayscale is basically black and white, black and white pictures. I feel like I'm pretty well tapped in on that. Um, Not for nothing. If I could be completely honest, I was kind of intimidated, touching skin tones, and just because much as people that may not do art, it's not a matter of like there's no paint for brown skin tone. There's no paint. There's no certain paint for tan skin tones, like all different hues of human beings. There's no pre-made paint for that. You gotta do a lot of mixing and a lot of trial and error. And it's like sometimes you gotta add different aspect colors of to make a certain, to even give the perception of a skin tone. And I feel like there's always room for improvement, but I feel like I'm better than where I was at 2 years ago. I would definitely want to give the flowers and thank my man Teron. He commissioned me to do a piece of Nile Rodgers, his famous producer. I did a canvas for him, and he wanted the skin tone. And honestly, that was the first time I got focused on doing it, and it came out great actually. I'm better than my expectations, and he loved it, and so that kind of gave me the confidence to go further on and just start doing skin tones. And then then it led to me doing I did a Mike Tyson piece for my boy Sean, and yeah, man. I mean, like I said, that kind of that piece I done for Teron of that of the natural skin tone, that actually gave me the confidence to go further along and just start dabbling and doing it more. So yeah, I would say, but to answer your question, skin tones is something I feel like I've gotten better at within the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to Teron, man. He reached out to me. We haven't talked in a while. He reached out to me, and we got to actually link up. He's got a lot of stuff going on himself, which looks great. His clothing that he put out, his business that he's doing, everything, man. So yeah, we actually got to link up. You know how it is with schedules. Schedules are always the death of everything. So
yeah, shout out to him, man. He definitely doing his thing for sure.
So this place is going to be held over at the Beehive over in Newburgh.
Yeah.
So what was the deciding factor to try this place out, or what caught your eye with this place to want to project everything there?
Well, the gentleman doesn't want to take credit. He wants to be like a solid. I don't want to call it a solid partner, but a solid curator. But I'm gonna give him his flowers. Now this is all happening because the good brother Ali Muhammad, he gave me the opportunity, to use his space, use the space. He basically facilitated it. I believe he does business there. He has or he works within that area, within that realm. Like I said, I know he's involved at the Beehive in some capacity. So a while ago, right after the second art show, he was just saying, because he pulled up and he came to support at the second art show, and he was like, hey, Teron, I really want to do something with you. Let's make it happen. And so I kind of kept it in the back of my mind, and for a while I was kind of double back. For initially, I wanted to get the I was trying to get the QWL in Beacon, right next to the high school. Growing up, that's where a lot of the parties were happening. But I wanted to get that based on the fact that, one, because it's home, it's close, and the structure of that place is like you have a dance. Like I don't know if you remember, but they have like a dance floor, and within that dance floor is not it's a wall space. So like kind of like it's a nice little walking. It's a lot of walking space where you can kind of like I could display the canvases and perfect for just viewing purposes of just walking around and seeing each piece. And they also have a kitchen for for food, which I can get into in a little bit. But yeah, basically like that's where in my mind like I'm like I gotta get to QWO, and then it's kind of was going through hoops trying to get that spot, and I was reaching out to a couple people that I know that work for the corrections facility, because I'm understanding for you to get that place you gotta work for corrections or whatever the case may be, whatever the stipulation is. So I just kept on striking out. I was trying for a while and just like it just wasn't nothing was sticking. So like I said, man, I honestly was thinking about Ali, and I realized I haven't seen him on social media in a while. So it was kind of like one day I was getting a haircut at the Twins, and I run into Ali. So I run into him.
Ain't that how it works?
Yeah, man. Like I said, the universe. Like I said, that's the thing. So I pulled up, saw Ali. We was chopping it up, just kind of catching up. We always do. So I presented the idea to him, like, hey, Ali, remember we talked about, collabing and doing a showcase, and I brought to them like, do you have any connections to any kind of venues, things like that? Like, I mean, literally within that same day, he put it out to, hey, I can get this place, we can check this out. Hey, it's a perfect spot called the Beehive. I wasn't really familiar with it, but I was like, literally within like, no exaggeration, within an hour, he sent me pictures of the spot. And then from there, I told him like, listen, if you're serious, if you can make it happen, I'm on board. Then from there, that basically that led to me getting to the Beehive. Ali Muhammad, he definitely a main contributor to that, to making it happen for sure. All the credit goes to him.
It's a good man too, man. We just got lists of great people today. Like,
yeah, listen, we gotta mention these people though.
Oh yeah,
like these people, the world has to know about these people, man. These are great people with their own rights. They're doing good things. If we don't talk about them, who will?
Yeah, no, and you know what the thing is, the people who like are actually I want to make sure this comes out right, but like people who are entitled nowadays, right? Like they just want stuff, you know what I mean? They feel like they're entitled, right? They don't really deserve it. But people like the people we're talking about, right? They deserve the entitlement, but people who actually deserve entitlement never actually think that they deserve anything because they're still got their head down and grinding. Like they don't pick their head up.
Nah, that's a fact, man. Like Ali, man, he's just such a humble guy, man. Main thing we talked about, and you can say he's probably gonna probably get upset. I don't want to say upset, but he's gonna heckle me for it. But you just saying like,
he's getting tagged in this. He's getting tagged in this.
He's like, hey, it's Ron. Listen, man, it's about you. I want you to take credit. Like, listen, like, I don't want any involvement. I just want to provide the outlet. I'm like, but you're involved though, man. Like you're helping facilitate this, so. At the end of the day, I'm always going to give you your credit. I'm going to give you flowers. Like this, like that's just how I am. I don't need to. I don't have an ego, and I don't need to be on Front Street for everything. Like I said, as much as I'm gonna take credit for the art, like I'm going to tell people like, hey, you made this happen. You helped make this happen. Well, I mean, you don't throw in the alley-oop. It doesn't happen. So
Ali's always like I'm not big into politics or anything like that, but my man has always done so much for the city, the town. Like he's constantly working, he's constantly doing. That whole family is constantly working, constantly doing stuff. And yeah, he's gonna get tagged in this too, along with Teron. And we ain't gonna forget Lord Fitz. Lord Fitz is he's gonna have to pick me out an outfit or something.
Oh man,
you already know.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, you already know. I mean, Lord Fitz, the name speaks for itself.
Right? Yeah.
People, it's one of those things. If you know, you know. and I'm pretty sure 80% of people that listen to this, 90% of people know who Lord Fitz is.
And that Lord Fitz got his head buried in his hands right now, just shaking his head.
Yeah, man, listen. Yeah, that's my support system, man.
Yeah, man. So that's cool. So the Beehive, that's now how long has that place been around? You do any like big research on history or?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have no knowledge of how long that place has been around. I know it's not far from where one of my good friends stay at, and I pass it plenty of times. Because the big thing that sticks out about that building is like a bunch of, it kind of reminds me like an old movie. Like, you know how the old billboards are on, like we're on like buildings and stuff. So it kind of, so that's what makes it sticks out. The building sticks out like a sore thumb. And so I always thought from the outside, from the optics, it looks like a nice building, but I've never been in here. And but I'm not sure how long it's been around, but I'm pretty sure it's just fairly, it's been there for I would have to imagine probably the last 5, maybe even 10 years, but I would think probably at least 5 years.
Okay.
I would think. But yeah, it's a dope space though, man. Very, it's very spacious. Kind of gives me like a lounge vibe in a sense. Very welcoming, very relaxed. Can't really, not too much going on. Very welcoming. The best way to describe it when you come into through those doors.
Yeah, and I mean that's what you want, right? I mean that's not. Yeah. You want everything to be cool, nice, chill vibes. Just like you're there to see the work that has been accomplished. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, it's there to look, it's there to vibe, it's there to chill out, it's there to discuss, and have a great time. And every single one of these things. I mean, I know I missed the first one, but I mean, like the one that I went to last year was cool as hell, man. Like it was cool as hell. I mean. How could you not have a good time? Like, you have all these people that are coming you haven't seen, like I said, in decades, and all of a sudden you see the actual work that you've been working on since I've known you since middle school and high school, just progressing, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's on the wall, and then now we're going to bigger spots and bigger spots and bigger spots. It's just a progression of life, man.
Yeah, it's elevation, man. You gotta step out your comfort zone, and you gotta go, like I said, bigger and better, man. Just kind of put yourself out there. And I'm not really tapped into what's Newburgh, what the scene is in Newburgh, or being out there. But definitely, it was good to get out the comfort zone because, like, at the end of the day, I wanted to QWL, but a part of me was saying, like, that's comfortable because that's Beacon, that's the hometown. Everybody's easy to get to, so very accessible. So I'm like, okay, that works out. It can't you can't fail because it's right there. It's right at the hub of Beacon. So, but like, I guess it was a sign. Me not laying that spot was like, like maybe that was a sign of saying like, yo, you got to get out your comfort zone. And it's only across the bridge. But then again, like I said, it's more of a travel. And I'm not really tapped into the people of Newburgh. Like I've been throughout my years going to Newburgh, in and out, kind of, but I'm not tapped into any kind of like, what the art scene is out there. I got some good friends that live out that way, and I have family that live out there, but I'm not tapped in of, what the culture is over in Newburgh, as far as, the people. But, like I said, all I could do is just put good energy out there, and hopefully hope that people gravitate towards it,
Yeah. What is the difference between like the first time that you actually had to go into your own art show, go around, talk to people, and how did that feel the first time though? That you got to go around, you got to talk to everybody, you got to do that, and how does it feel now going into your third? Are you a little bit more at ease? Are you know what I mean, like?
I feel like I'm still working on it. I feel like I don't want to say I'm an introvert, but like I feel like I have a problem with talking to people, but just more so of something I'm still working on. Just going around, just shaking hands, introducing myself. Like I said, the first time it wasn't too bad. The second time was a little better. I think I'm almost there. But I don't. The best days I don't want to say it's nerve wracking, but it was kind of like, it was different. Going to people in my first art event, like, especially the ones, because there was people there. It was easy to talk to people that I knew. Obviously that's a given, but there was like people that was coming in that I never met before. You know, from different state. Just kind of just going there, introducing myself, letting them familiar with who I am, and the artwork that I put up, and just getting their input, not their input, but their feedback as far as the art. That's one thing that I would say that was a blessing, and I cherish when it comes. And I think my favorite part of the art shows is going to people and getting their real time feedback on the art. Like that's like, I would say, not to sound cliche, like that's more rewarding than the piece selling or getting the money from it, because from right there you're telling me firsthand what you like about it, what you like about the art, how the art makes you feel, and and I'm even open to you telling me, hey, what would you done different, or what do you feel is missing, or like that. So I take all that, and I take all that into consideration, and I take that with me, and I'll take it. Say it's not to sound corny, not to sound cliche, but I value that, if not more, just as much as the piece selling.
Yeah. There's two things that I took from, actually, one thing from two different people, or one thing from each person. So there's one way of grading something, not even grading it, but like kind of testing things out. And one was grade something if you're ever going to do it from 1 to 10, but you can't use 7. And meaning 7 is your safe spot, right? 7's everybody's safe spot if we're really going to, And either you're leaning more towards 8 or you're leaning more towards 6, which is really halfway 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you'll give it a solid rating. You know what I mean? If you really like it, you'll hit the 8, because in reality you're just hitting low 7 or high 7. That's really why you're picking 7, because you're being safe.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to rate those things like that now. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about that. I'm about to steal that one. Take that with me,
dude. I'm telling you, I do it with everything. I do it with restaurants. I do it with all the places I go. I do it with food. I do it with music. I do it with like everything. It's just like, if I could rate it from 1 to 10, and I can't use 7, 8 or a 6, and those are. I mean, it's bigger than you think. That's a big leap. You know what I mean?
Either you failing or are you passing considerably.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, like, and for work that I do, right, like beats that I make and shows that I have, I ask people, from 1 to a 10, what is it? You can't use 7. And dude, you know how much longer it takes for somebody to rate something like that? They're like, I can't use 7. Be like, no, that's how you know everybody is going to 7. Like right off the bat, be like, well, I don't want to hurt feelings, so we're gonna hit 7.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, like, but I want to say, I don't necessarily say this on the art, because what did the great Erykah Badu say? It's art, and I'm sensitive about my shit. So it's like, I forgot what she said it at. I forgot where she said it, but it was it's funny that you say that, but it made me think of that quote. But I just think we have the connotation of being sensitive about our work, and every right we do. It's our babies, it's our creations. But we if you can't take honest feedback or considerable feedback, then like you're hurting yourself, because you don't want to be around a bunch of yes people, and then you become stagnant, you become complacent as far as what you're putting out there, and then it becomes repetitive and oversaturated. So it's kind of like you gotta understand that it's not everybody's not going to be as ecstatic or not have the same ratings or same feelings about your work. And as an artist, you gotta be open to that.
Yeah, there was another way of doing it too. So one person told me, anytime you listen to something, watch something, or whatever it is for the first time, right? If you write it down on a piece of paper, right? Write down how it makes you feel. What do you get out of it, right? You take that piece of paper and you put it away. Remember where you put it, and a year later, you do the same thing, and you write down this same experience, right? But you're gonna have a different feeling. You might have a different, or you might have the same. And you go back, you pull out the old paper, and you compare it to the new one, and you find. He said you'll find out a lot about yourself, man.
Well, yeah. That's interesting you say that, man. That's the yeah, I mean that takes a lot of dedication, man. It takes a lot of self reflecting and self reflection because like I said, man, the card you gotta write it down and go back a year later, watch it and critique that same thing. Yeah, that's dedication and tapping into yourself. Because some people, like me and myself, I'm off of a first watch, first feeling basis on most things.
Yeah,
and this is what I felt. I rock with it. Cool.
It's
my fault.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say it's crazy because like when I look at something, right? Like I did it once and I forget. I did it to a beat, right? I listened to a beat and I wrote down what I thought about it, and he was like, all right, like put it here. I'll hold it because he knew. He was like, you're gonna lose it, aren't you? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lose that. He's like, all right, cool. And I went back to the studio, like, a year later, just kind of in between. He was like, yo, you still remember what we did? I said, yeah. He's like, because I got that piece of paper here. I'm going to play you a beat. And same beat. And you got to tell me what I was like, I don't even remember what I put down. And I put something else down, and he showed me it was two different things. And he was like, and it made me reflect on, like, what I was thinking then and now what I'm thinking now. Like it was completely different. Like, I mean, like completely different. Like it shows where my mindset was at back then. And it shows how I grew, within 1 year. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, you were obviously not in a good place at this point. Fuck no, I was not. Like, I was not in a good place.
Nah, listen, you was on your journey though. I mean, you was still learning your ropes. And you were still, perfecting your craft. Man, that's one thing I would say that, in relation to what you just said, like for example, like love the Twins, very supportive. They recently bought Sneaker Room shop, sneaker shop out in Jersey City. Shout out to them. They had a art event called Art Mats. Basically, all art based on sneaker related, Air Max related stuff. And they finally, I submitted a piece like 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago. It was like really like when I first started like going into, getting into art. Well, more so, getting myself out there. And they displayed it this year. So 3 years later, they finally displayed a piece I'd done 3 years ago. And, the Twins were very supportive. They picked it up. They bought it. They took it back to the shop. I look at it, and it's like, it's to be honest, it's beautiful to see how far I come, but it's cringeworthy in the same thing because it's like damn, like that's like just looking at for what I was doing then to what I'm doing now, it's like it's night and day, and but I'm appreciative of the journey and putting this stuff out there and everything, but kind of like to relative what you were saying about your beat. It's like, I wouldn't say you was in a bad space, just like I said, you was still finding your way, man.
No, well, the thing was, I knew I was in a bad space. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that, you know what I mean? But, unless you get pulled out the box and placed to the side, you ain't gonna know that.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. You still in that mindset of when you made that beat, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, listen, I get it. Nah, definitely, man. It's one thing, the progression definitely has picked up throughout the years, and that's why I feel like I am hyped about just getting it out there and putting it out there, because if for those that's been loyal and has been to all the art events, they're going to see it. Like, it kind of speaks night and day, and it just see, just talking to people, generally speaking, just talking to people about about how I've come along as far as my art. A lot of people would just say that I definitely they'll give me, compliments about how, it's been, the quality has gone up and, just that I've gotten better. So I'm just, I'm excited to see, just get the general public's, feedback on that.
Yeah, man. This is going to be a blast, dude. And it's on a great weekend, man. Everybody's chilling, they're relaxing, there's no rush to get back nowhere.
Now Memorial Day weekend, man. I told you, reflective to what I said about the calendar, the dates. I don't know. I didn't know Memorial Day weekend. I didn't know Memorial Day weekend until I want to say I think Ty pointed it out to me.
Okay.
He's like, I was talking about the date. He's like, oh yeah, Memorial Day weekend. I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, that's Memorial Day weekend. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, I just picked the night, so I figured the end of the May, right before summer hit, be a nice time to get it out. So that was the main thing. I wanted to do I wanted to do it in March, to be honest with you, but obviously, International Women's Month. But the weather's so iffy in March. Don't know if it's gonna rain. It's still gonna snow. And I'm just like, nah, man. If I'm gonna put on for leave, man, I need it to be the weather. Weather needs to be right, and the probability of being nice weather, the safe way to go with in the May.
I mean, it's still taking its time now, isn't it? It's kind of weird right now, but usually, maybe we're just, I don't know, maybe we're spoiled. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's been brisk out. I said we had a couple of rainy days, but it's been pretty brisk out. I'm confident that this weekend is gonna, knock on wood, but I'm confident that this Saturday the weather's gonna be pretty fair, and it'll go smooth.
Nah, I feel you, man. So, if this is somebody's first time listening to this, and they want to know where can I see this dude's work before I even get to the show, where can they go, my friend?
The Right Expressions. No player words, just the Right Expressions. Well, my last name, of course, but TheWright Expressions. That's at on Instagram. That's basically my only social for my artwork, but a lot of my work is on there. But yeah, for the most part, it's just kind of like it's me. I try to add somewhat of my personal life to that. Some people feel like you should kind of separate the both, but I kind of try to be personal on my Instagram just so you feel like you're not dealing with a robot. Kind of gives my somewhat of my personality, my likes, how I feel about certain things, and just like I said, there's nothing but positive things on the IG. So check it out now for sure. Add me. You can follow me. I follow back. And, interact with me. Like I said, I'm easy to reach. So for sure. No, definitely check me out.
I have to go. We have to leave now. I have to leave. We have to leave now. I have to go. Go.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Well, see you later.